What is up, everybody? Smoked on some of this sweet, creamy crotch rocket. Nice, gassy finish. Wanted to do just like a brief story time on the legend, the myth, the almighty Runts and lemon cherry gelato. I know that there's like a lot of misconceptions and things that like people just like don't know if they don't know the stories, if they don't pay attention to the culture like I do. So let me take you back to 2017 when Nick, the actual creator of the strain Runts, but he didn't call it that. He called it purple something else. I can't remember. But he had a couple of units, and Young LB and some of the Runts guys got their hands on a 20-pack, and somebody else got... hold on. They got their hands on a 20-pack when they were driving back on the base smoking. They were like, this is something special. What should we call this? And Young LB's homie's like, what do you mean? This is the Runts, dude. It tastes like candy. It tastes like candy Runts. And they wanted to call it like purple Runts at first, and they just went with Runts. Well, on that drive back, they want to call Nick and say, yo, don't let anybody else in the Bay get any of that. We want to fucking market it. We want to run like... They had a whole marketing plan right off the bat once they hit it. They wanted to make sure they were the only ones who had it, and make sure that they had the Runts so that nobody else did. But from my understanding, Nick had already gotten rid of another 20 to another homie, but he promised him nobody else. Well, that homie happened to be one of the Backpack Boys. So... not nearly as big as the Runts crew, but they were doing their thing. So they got theirs, and they ended up calling it the lemon cherry gelato. Now, this is when things kind of get interesting, because Nick ends up going exclusively with the Jokes Up and the Runts boys, and they're more or less running the facility that he's in. So... You know, you got Young LB, he's out touring, you got Ray Bama, you got all the Runts crew over there. Well, Nick goes to work one day to go take care of all the plants, and the power is off. The water isn't working. And so he calls, Young LB, or maybe not Young LB, I know that it was Ray Bama, and they were like, yo, we need to negotiate what we're doing here. We're not, this and that. Like, we need more money for what we're doing. You guys didn't pay the bills. And Ray Bama more or less was like, fuck you. You need us. We're the Runts boys. We put you on. Da-da-da-da-da. Talked mad shit to him. And Nick was like, okay, you don't want to pay the bills? That's fine. He fucking went to Juan with the Backpack Boys. And next thing you know, Backpack Boys are dropping the lemon cherry gelato everywhere. And it's blowing up just as much as Runts is. So, really, Runts and lemon cherry gelato are the exact same thing. But Runts didn't want to have to keep paying the cost of running a facility, because it's millions of dollars for electricity, dehumidifiers, water, nutrients. They thought that they didn't need them. And sure enough, dude, you don't understand. The growers are everything. So they ended up going with Juan and the Backpack Boys, and the lemon cherry gelato was born. And most people don't know that they're literally the exact same thing. And the other thing with Runts, look at that oil ring. Ooh. You get pink Runts, white Runts, black Runts, purple Runts, coochie Runts, potato Runts. Dog, it's all the same fucking shit, just different phenotypes. What they ended up doing was they released like as much as they could as fast as they could, which is a terrible idea. What you do when you're breeding cannabis is you breed it like 4 or 5 times to weed out any abnormalities or mutations that you don't want. And that's why like it never took off. And then he was selling those stamps, like he was naming people pink Runts and white Runts, and like it was just his whole marketing shit. It all got to his head. But Props to him. Runts is in everything now. Runts or lemon cherry gelato is in everything, and it's the same fucking thing. That's why I'm stoked about Grandy, Florida doing their own thing. The E85, the doggy bag, the Grandy candy, the Grandy cakes, like super good. I'm fucking stoked about Grandy, Florida genetics out of Oakland. But that's the shorthand version of like what happened with Runts and the fact that Runts and lemon cherry gelato are the exact same thing. And most of them are so watered down now because everybody has a cut. It's hard to find a good one. So, I'm about ready to hop online and see what they got with Lit tomorrow. I know they had the white truffles on preferred pack, but I've smoked the shit out of white truffles, like really good white truffles. I had a homie who grew white truffles in tropical runs, and that shit was fire. So, I might grab it, but it's like they get new stuff every week, so. This crotch rocket just smoked like a champ, dude. Like, it practically jumped into the paper and rolled itself. I got a motherfucking half-inch ash looking wider than fucking Peruvian cocaine. I'm higher than giraffe balls. Long day at work. But, yeah. Now you know the real story of Runts and the lemon cherry gelato. Same thing, just Runts didn't want to pay the bills, and so they said, cool, we'll get somebody who does, and Backpack Boys stepped in, and then Backpack Boys did lemon cherry gelato, and now that I'd argue that might be as popular as Runts, but you just see Runts crossed into everything. But yeah, you'll mostly see me doing lit farms because of two reasons. It's always fire, always a fair price, and because I know people who run their seeds, and I want to like run their seeds. So it's really cool to get like a little sample of like what you would get if you were growing it. Because I have my own home grow, and then I also help other people. So growing is my passion. I love cannabis. It's what I do. So tell me where the weed is at. I like fat, lumpy bags with the green is at. I ain't scared of a fucking thing. I'm gonna roll it up and hit it till it blank. This crotch rocket is smacking. I've been just heavy hitting, and it's like 9 minutes. But yeah, anybody having trouble with shipping, give it time. Email them. Don't pester them. But just like, I wish I could help you, but I can't. So all I can do is wish you my best. I'm lucky enough to be 5 hours away from their distribution center. So I get my packages in 3 days. So if you're on the East Coast, if you have weather issues, there's so many things that can happen. Like, the post office is dog shit. Like, that's not their fault. So I'm friends with my mailman, so I know he always drops my package off. He, like, puts it in a special place for me. But, yeah, dude, be friendly. Get to know people. Get to know your mail routes, man. You'll realize that you don't have to be good at life as much as you just have to, like, people have to like you. Like, it's like at work. You can be the fucking worst worker in the world, but if everybody likes you, you're never going to get in trouble. Like, that goes with everything in life. Don't be a dick. Like, always try to be nice, and you'd be amazed at how much people are like, I like that guy. Like, I, like, learned that at jobs of just, like, you can work your ass off until you want to pass out, and it's still, you're not going to get ahead as the guy, or you're not going to get as far ahead as the guy that everybody likes and enjoys being around. So be that guy. Enjoy being around yourself. Jumbo, cheers before this hoe get over 10 minutes. I ain't finished yet, though. She's still just getting ripe. Stay wavy, baby. Y'all keep it. See you again soon.